Welcome back to the Drain Plug Podcast. This episode is sponsored by TBNation.net. Visit TBNation.net for all your John boat needs, whether that be EVA foam, dry hatches, electric outboards, lithium batteries, inflatable boats, the replacement transoms, all kinds of things.
If you'd have done that just a smidge faster, you could be like a radio advertising person.
End of the day, we're just grateful that TBNation.net is sponsoring this
Yes,
podcast, so thank
we
you.
are. We
And please
are.
visit them.
So today we are trying out the Yellowstone Handpicked Bourbon Collection. This one is a store pick single barrel from Nitro to Go here in Georgia. It is, if anybody's interested, it's single barrel number 11987. It was barreled in 2018. And this one's brought to us by our good friend John. Thank you very much, John, for getting this to us. It is 51% alcohol by volume, 102 proof, and there's a whole story about Yellowstone on the back that I'm not going to read, but I don't know a whole lot about Yellowstone, but I know I have tried this, and it was pretty delicious.
It's a good TV show.
It just looks cold there all the time.
Yeah. I think that's why that stuff sells so good, to be honest with you. But
Well, we're going to try this first, and then we're going to revisit our Bookers that we reviewed a couple podcasts ago, because I want to see how it's opened up and if it's developed any, if it's still worth seeking out if you want to seek it out. But let's give this one a try, see what we think.
do you know anything about Yellowstone in general?
Not really.
I thought it was MGP for a while.
No, it's actually distilled in Kentucky, in Lebanon, Kentucky. It's got a decent nose, but it's got a it's got a funk flavor. It's or a smell. I don't know how to describe it. It's just got a.
Well, I tasted cardboard.
It that's kind of how it smells. It's got a little cardboardy smell. I mean, it's
You
good.
know, like when you're little and you put cardboard in your mouth and it gets soggy and you're still putting it in your mouth? That's what this
I didn't
tastes
do
like.
that.
You never did that?
No, I never did that.
Maybe
Not that I remember.
Maybe I was a special baby.
You might have been. No, but it's definitely got. There's a cherry note. Definitely a good barrel note.
I'm getting cherry, and then it comes in with the cardboard.
The cherry's right up on the front, along with a very sharp oak note. It's not bad, but yeah, there's that. If you want to call it cardboard, we'll go with cardboard. But it's
Dude,
definitely
how
got
does that-
there's a funk in it. I don't know.
Well, now you're making me feel bad because now I know what cardboard tastes like.
I mean, I've smelled cardboard. I've never tasted it, but I'm not tasting cardboard. I mean, I've never tasted cardboard, so you may be correct. It's definitely got something there.
Dude, that's cardboard.
Okay, I mean, this is cardboard. Okay, it's
Yep.
a
Or it's
very
just
earthy
an oak.
cardboard.
Yeah,
flavor.
earthy. One of those recycled cardboards. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
There's another note that I'm trying to pick up, but I don't know what it is. I can't put a word to it yet, but it is good.
I do get that cherry up front, though. I like the cherry at the
The
front.
cherry is very.
If that held
it
on
reminds
through
me of the cherry that was in that. What was that cherry Mountain Dew? That red Code Red or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that Code Red cherry kind of flavor.
Yeah, it does. It's very sweet. I don't know. It's not bad, though.
No, it's not bad. I like it. I drink it. So
Today's topic.
What are we talking about?
Today we're going to be just doing basically a quick update for you guys. Trying to give you a rundown of what's going on with TBNation.net right now. We have a lot of new products that we have gotten the opportunity to use as of recently that we want to discuss with you guys. Also, last week was IBEX, which is the International Boat Expo. Is what it
Boat
stands
Builders
for.
Expo,
Boat
yeah.
Builders Expo down in Tampa, Florida. So they made it right in between all the hurricanes, but
They got lucky because it
They
did
did
get
get
canceled
lucky.
a couple years ago due to hurricanes. But this year they had got to go through with it.
so we went was it last year or the year before?
I think it was last year we went.
We
It
went.
was last year.
And we didn't go this year, but last year they had in a big I want to say Coliseum, but that's not the word.
It's a convention
It's a
center.
convention
It's
center.
a huge convention center, multi floors. I think it's 3 stories.
3 stories.
Plus, it's right on the water in Tampa Bay, so it's outside. And for those of you who are wondering, this is not a public show. Like, this is not something that your average boat person is going to go to. This is specifically targeting manufacturers and people that carry products from different manufacturers, and that's their opportunity to display it, to show people that are interested in buying it and selling it on their website, or for manufacturers that are like, building a boat and then there's new products out there that they might want to include in their boat builds.
Yeah, like the main foot traffic that goes through this place is like boat company engineers.
Yeah.
and developers and stuff like that. So
And
these are the
owners and stuff
products that
too.
you'll
Like I got to meet Uncle Jay last time.
Yeah,
It was pretty
exactly.
cool.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of people there.
so you'll just see people like, they'll start using products from that place and implementing them into their boat, their New Year boats and stuff like that. But
And a lot of the stuff that's in the show is not yet available. A lot of it is stuff that you're seeing for the first time, and they're taking pre-orders on it for different companies.
yeah,
So a lot of times when you see stuff in there, like you can't even get it even if you wanted it.
yeah, it's a really cool show. But I just wanted to highlight that a little bit at the beginning of this podcast because we took down like all of our video affiliates with us, I guess you could say. So Mike was there.
Yeah.
Wayne the Boat Guy was there. Anthony Jones, Kayak DIY.
Naeem was there.
Naeem from Bass Bros DMV.
Fishing.
Oh, is it Alexia? I think it's Alexia. He's another guy down in Florida that does a lot of stuff with DIY or Kayak DIY. He was down there as well. So there's about to be a whole lot of videos put out talking about Ibex and the stuff that they saw there. I know Mike's just put one out this morning over all the electric outboards because there's a plethora of electric outboards that are on the market that a lot of people don't even know about.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to watch.
It was that way last year when we were there. There was quite a few electric outboards that were displayed that we still haven't totally seen yet.
Yeah.
That are not yet available.
Yeah, no, it looked like a pretty good show. So just keep your eyes out for a lot of that information coming down the pipeline. Some products that we do have in that are new, we wanted to bring to you guys' attention.
Let's start with the two inflatables. So the first inflatable is not new. We've had it for a while. We just haven't put out a whole lot of content on it yet. Mike's done a few quick videos on it. You've done a video on it. And
that's video content.
You have video content.
I haven't finished the video yet.
So it's the Light Skiff Air,
Mm-hmm.
and that is from the same company that brought us the Milha, or the Melia, if that's the way you pronounce it.
Yep.
But it's a pretty cool boat. We have those, and then the other one that we have is the Newport NT. I cannot remember the name of it. I'll look it up while you're talking about it because you are the one that's actually been out on a light skiff. You can say more about it than I can.
So the light skiff, I was very impressed with.
Or the air skiff, the
light skiff air.
Light skiff air. That's
light
what it's
skiff
called.
Air. Every time we bring on a new product, one of our big deals is trying to figure out, obviously, the specs on it. But again, trying to figure out how it performs in a real life scenario, real life situation, things you can expect and may not expect when you get the product. So when this one first came in, I was like, man, how could I implement this into my the way that I normally fish, right? What can I find a use for this? And I actually ended up replacing it one day with my kayak going down the river in the Chattahoochee, and I was very, very pleased with it. Got on a bunch of shoal bass. I even brought my cooler with me in it and a grill and cooked lunch. It was a very impressive little boat, and I went by myself. I was able to move and maneuver this boat by myself. With most of the time I was using my kayak paddle with it. So it's easy to paddle. It's got tons of space in it. It was easy to use in the river, even though the water was extremely shallow that day. I really, really liked it. And then this one is very, very comparable to the Newport. What's it called?
It's the NS 130.
The NS 130.
NT is their motor line. NS is their light skiff or inflatable skiff.
So the NS, there are a few little differences in it. Number one, you're going to get a more comfortable seating situation in the Newport one. That's the first thing you kind of notice right off the bat. The second thing that you may not notice that is true, the Newport does not hold as much weight. It can't hold as large of an outboard.
Yeah, it's a max horsepower rating of 6 horsepower. The light skiff air is a 10.
Yeah.
And size-wise, the NS 130 is 13 feet, 48 inches wide, and it weighs 61 pounds by itself, but it only has a total weight capacity of 800 pounds. It's so we don't physically have one yet. We haven't gotten our demo in yet. Mike's played around with it, but it looks more of like a single person sit down and fish style boat. You can stand up in it, but I don't think it's as wide as the light
That one's
skiff
not
air.
much wider. That one's about 50 something, 52. It's not much wider, but the biggest thing is the construction. Like that light skiff air is a little more robust, meaning the material it's made out of is thicker. It's a welded hull. All that stuff. I don't really know what that means when they say when it's plastic and inflatable, it's welded, but that's what
There's
they say.
something different about the way that they put the plastic together, welded versus the other way. I cannot remember how
Okay.
exactly this one's put together.
But that just to me sounds like it's infused together a little bit better. I like the strap down points that the light skiff air has. It's got them almost all over the boat, whereas the NT,
The NS 130.
oh I'm sorry, the NS 130 doesn't have all those options. It also the Newport does not come with the bow plate like the light skiff air does, which could be very beneficial in a few different scenarios. But what you don't have on the light skiff air that you have on the Newport are the
seat.
well, I mean the seat, but also the track system.
Yeah, they basically have two different methods of tying stuff down to the boat or attaching accessories. The light skiff air is all or what I would call cam buckles, or it has little D rings all over it that are
Yeah.
welded in that you would use like cam buckles and ropes and stuff to tie it down. With the NS 130 from Newport, it's all track system based.
Right.
So it's a little bit different construction and a little bit different method for attaching things, but they both seem to be really good options. It's just I think like the line to draw is if you're a single person fisherman and you're never going to have another person in the boat,
Newport.
the
for
Newport
sure.
is a great option. If you ever think you're going to have two people or you want a bigger motor or you want to carry more junk, then the light skiff air is kind of the way you need to go.
I'm telling you right now, that's usually a trip that I take with my fiance. We each get in our own kayaks and we go down the river and catch shoal bass. With that light skiff air, we could do away with two kayaks and both be in that one boat and be just fine. So,
Now, one thing that the light skiff air does have that the Newport does not is it has the built-in Railblazer mounts.
yes.
Inside the boat. It's got, 6 of them?
I do think that Newport one has a couple, to
It
be
does.
honest with you.
I didn't really look at the pictures. This is the thing that sucks about getting new products, and we don't actually have a demo out to take them out yet.
No.
Yeah, it does. It has a couple in there. But until we actually get our hands on it and get to demo it,
But
and
it's
take
also
it out.
nowhere near as many as the light skiff air because of that track system. So,
Yeah, the track system is basically where the seat is.
Mhm.
So it's in the back half of the boat, are they still considered boats, skiffs, inflatables?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're boats. Yeah, they're still boats. But it only has it in the back half where the seat is at, which if you're going to use this thing in the manner that it was designed for, sitting and fishing, everything you're going to want to tie down to that boat or put in the track system is going to be right there where you're sitting anyways.
Correct.
So it's kind of a good option for that. The light skiff air, do you know what the weight on it is?
880.
880, so it's got a little bit more capacity.
It'll hold more. I think its hull is around 70 or 90 pounds, somewhere in there. Inflated, I can tell you this. I think it's easy as crap to move around.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude. It's incredible.
Now, the only thing that the light, and I keep looking over this way if you're watching this on YouTube, because I'm actually looking at the boat. It kind of is designed with that grab bar in there for you to put a cooler and use the cooler as your seat
Yeah.
instead of some other, because there's really not a great way to put a seat in that thing
No.
without running the cooler. Now, it has that little bench in the back that's removable that you can sit on while you're driving your outboard around. But if you want to sit on the front, like kind of the cooler is
The place to be. Yeah.
yeah.
And you can stand up on the side of that thing on those tubes, and it doesn't even blink.
So, and it felt, when you were in it, it felt really
Oh, dude.
stable side to side. And
The
fishing
last
and
thing I
stuff.
was worried about was falling out of that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
How
And
did
that's
it?
even on the rocks going down the shoals.
How did it do? You paddled some of it,
A
didn't you?
lot of it, yeah.
How did it feel like
It was
compared
fun.
to your kayak? Like,
I mean, it's a little more difficult. You know, in your kayak, you can kind of sit there with your, I guess, your elbows stationary and kind of move it. That you had to pick up, a little bit more.
so it looks like it's more designed for the use of like a stand-up paddleboard style paddle. where it's
Yes,
got
I
a
was
long
doing
handle.
that for a while too. I was just take the one side and swap it,
Okay.
and I was standing.
But they both work great with outboards. We've ran Mike ran the Newport and the Spirit on his. You ran the Spirit on this one, and you seem to like it. So
Yeah, it was very nice.
we'll definitely have more content coming out in the near future on both of them. And then the other one that we just released that we really haven't gotten any content on is the Sea Eagle boats.
All the Sea Eagle stuff.
Yeah, so we just recently became a Sea Eagle dealer, so we'll be carrying all the Sea Eagle stuff, and we're waiting on demo stuff to come in for all the Sea Eagle lines so that we can get some videos and content and Instagram and Bookface and all that stuff up on the Sea Eagle stuff. But I'm super excited about trying out some of the Sea Eagle stuff. They've got a lot of long-standing customers. They got a good reputation in the industry.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
They have been, and we've had a lot of people call in to have Sea Eagles that have bought electric outboards for them. They absolutely love them.
Yeah, I'm excited for those. So those are definitely another product that's coming down the line for us to tell you guys about. But
the next big thing is we finally got the shallow water anchors from Lumar in, and we've done a couple of installs on them, and they are like really, really cool. I never in my life thought I'd ever want a shallow water anchor on the back of my boat, and we installed a set of electric ones on a boat the other day, and now that's all I've been thinking about.
dude,
Like,
they're so cool.
I want these. I don't want to spend the money on them, but I want them.
Yeah, the electric ones, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're doing one, I think okay. But you kind of really need two.
Yeah.
And
To get the maximum benefit out of it.
at two, you're kind of like, that's a lot. But when they're on there, it's
Yeah.
like, man, that's
They're
pretty
still
cool.
cheaper than a lot of the other options out
A
on the
lot
market.
cheaper.
Though. They're a
So
lot
much
cheaper than the Raptors. They're cheaper than the what's the power pole one's called?
The
Or are they just called power
micro
poles?
anchors.
Micro.
Well, they have a few different ones. There's like legit power poles, and then there's like the power pole micro anchor.
Well, the power pole micro anchor is cheaper, but it doesn't have the same functionality, the Axis. So the electric version is called the Axis, and the manual version is called the Vector.
Correct.
You have the Vector, and you've been impressed with it so far. And you're only running one on your boat.
Just one, and even that one's done very, very well. You know, that one comes in at $600, which honestly is not really that bad.
No, you get a pair of them for $1,200 and stick them on the back of your boat.
I've used, so my personal boat, I have the manual one. The only thing I don't like about the manual one is having to run to the back, drop it, and then pick it up. The manual part. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah. But you saved a ton of money.
Dude, ton of money, and it works. Like that's kind of the big thing is I've been using it recently for, we had a couple boat ramps that didn't have docks to them. So at the end of the tournament, I'd pull up, put the bow of the boat into the bank, and then drop the shallow water anchor in the back, get it out of the boat, and go up to get the truck and bring it back down. That's worked awesome. I was with my fiance another time, and it was hot in the middle of the summer. She's like, "Put me in the shade. I'm done. Put me in the shade." I'm like, all right. So I backed the boat into the shade, dropped the anchor, so that she could be hanging out in the shade while I was still fishing out the front of the boat.
That's cool.
So very impressed with them. I wish I had two, but even just having one helps tremendously.
Yeah.
So, and I have spot lock on that Ultrex too. So
when you put the one down and then you put spot lock on, it helps keep you in place a lot better than just having spot lock.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm scared to try it with the spot lock on.
Oh, you haven't tried it yet?
No, I'm scared.
Why?
What if it goes nuts?
I mean, I would hope it doesn't. It's an expensive trolling motor. It better not go nuts on you.
Subscribe to the podcast and find out next week if we ruin our trolling motors or our anchor.
Ideally, if you want to stay like 100% dead still wherever you put it down at, you really need two of them. But if you can't afford two of them, or two of them just not in the budget, then one will work. And you can use your auto anchor system on your trolling motor that you have to help keep you better in place. But with two of them, it's going to lock the back of the boat in, and it's not going to move.
Yeah. But no, we just installed those two electric ones on that 1754 Tracker Grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it gets addicting pressing that button and
does.
hearing them go up and lock into place and then drop back down and then seeing them, like, we haven't even had them in the water yet, but you push them down, and when they hit the ground, the boat starts lifting the trailer up just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's not a light boat.
A couple things that we learned, and we're going to have a video on this, hopefully coming out by the time this podcast is out, but there's two different modes on the electric one. There is what they call I think they call it the manual mode.
They had weird names for it, I think.
I want to say it was manual. I have to go back and watch the video. But anyways, you push and hold the button, and it's almost like momentary contact. When you're pushing the button, it's going down, or you're pushing the button and it's going up. In order to get it all the way down, you have to hold the button. They have another mode that I know is called latching mode, where you push the button one time, let it go, and it automatically deploys itself down until it feels like, I don't know what the spec is, but whenever it reaches enough pressure, the electric actuator stops and it holds you in place. And then to stow it, you just push it one time and they will raise themselves back up into the stowed position and stop. Yeah. And it's pretty easy to program once you actually do the programming once. Like, it's kind of confusing to read about it and go, how does this work? But once you do it, it's really not that bad. So what did you think about the Yellowstone? Did you pick up any more notes from it?
I didn't pick up anything else. The only thing I noticed was that cardboard flavor went away from me like halfway through the pour. So
I started getting a pastry note at the end of it. It's like it is a cherry bomb. Like it tastes like Code Red cherry. Mountain Dew is what the cherry note that I get from it. But as the finish starts to come in, I get this almost like croissant type pastry note out of it.
Dude, stop. I didn't eat lunch today, and you're making me hungry.
But then, like, once it gets into the finish, it's your more oaky type flavors. You got a little bit of vanilla. It does have a sweetness, but it's not a sugar sweetness. And I'm having a really hard time, like, pinpointing exactly what the sweetness is. But overall, it's a great single barrel. I kind of like it. I haven't had it open for very long, so it may get better as it opens up more. Yeah. So let's see how the Booker's did, because I liked it when we first opened it up, but I thought that it was lacking for being a $100 bottle.
I'm getting a lot more of that ethanol smell.
It's hot. What was this one, like 130 something?
I don't even remember. I don't think it was that high. 124.6. I was wrong.
It's pretty high.
I didn't think it was that much.
This one has a burnt brown sugar note to me that stands out on the nose.
I'm getting vanilla too. A lot of that.
It does have some vanilla, and there is I'm not going to say peanut, but it's like a walnutty type smell, some type of nuttiness.
Dude, I just tried to sniff a lot of it, and it just did burn my nostril hairs.
It is high proof. It is definitely high proof. I think it's opened up more. Definitely better than it was when we first opened it up. It's not. It's still hot, but it's not so hot that it's unbearable. But it definitely has that Jim Beam nuttiness. It's not overpowering, but it has a very good barrel note. It has a very good brown sugar, like a burnt, charred brown sugar kind of note. And
I was getting a lot of fruit.
It does have a little bit of fruit.
Until you said, crap. What
did I say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Until I said.
You said until I tasted this one note, and then I was like, okay, then it switched to that note. Oh, the nuttiness.
Yeah, it's got a nut. It's not a peanut flavor, though. It's just some type, I don't know, it's like a walnut or a hazelnut or something. It's some kind of nutty flavor that's not peanut, but it definitely has a nut note. It's opened up. I actually like it a lot better than when we first opened it.
Yeah.
Not my favorite by far, but.
So which one do you like better, though? If you had to just sit and drink one to enjoy it,
I would probably rather do the Yellowstone because this one is super hot to me.
Yeah, this one's pretty hot.
But I'm just one of those people that doesn't like high proof bourbons.
What'd you say the Yellowstone came in at?
102.
I have that same bottle from a different store.
From a different store.
So I'll check that one tonight and see if I'm getting the same flavoring off of that one, and if the specs are different, then I'd like to try them side by side.
We can do side by side on them. I do like the Booker's. I'm just not into the high proof stuff. So I mean, I will drink it, but it's not something I'm gonna go pull off the shelf and go, "Oh,
that's weird."
Try this today.
I think I kind of search for a good tasting high proofed one. Does that make sense?
A lot of people do. And you can definitely pull out more flavor at high proof than you can at low proof in a lot of these bourbons. But this particular one, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't dislike it by any means. It's just not my favorite.
Let's put a little bit of tidbit of water in there and see what it does.
Yeah, it might help bring it down some. Do you also like putting ice in yours? And I don't.
I love mine with ice. Yeah.
I do not. I think it changes the flavor
But
profile.
certain ones, though. Well, it does, but some of them are for the better when you do that.
Some
way.
of them are. So also in the Newport realm, since we're now a Newport dealer, we brought in all of their trolling motors. We got their X Series trolling motors, their NV Series trolling motors. We got the NT300, which is the 3-horse equivalent electric outboard that they carry. That's 36 volts. We've also got their 2 kayak motors, the NK180, which is the 1.8 horse equivalent, and then we've got the NK300, which is the 3-horse kayak motor. And both of the kayak motors come with a little top mount controller, so you can kind of put it beside you and forward and back. But they're cable steered. They're hugely popular in the kayak world. Like everybody seems to love them.
Yeah.
And the NT300, the 3 horsepower equivalent electric outboard, is quite popular. Like a lot more popular than I thought it was going to be at 36 volts. But it's definitely holding its own in the market right now.
Yeah. I mean, part of that I feel like is no one else is trying to compete with it, you know? So
No.
everyone always has the Newport motor on the back and the Motor Guide trolling motor on the front.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, it's a cool setup. I don't know. Obviously, I think that's going to be more efficient than trying to stick a Spirit on your kayak.
Oh, definitely. The NK series motors are like kind of industry standard in kayak.
I mean, that's what
right
they
now
designed
the
it
back.
for.
Yeah.
So.
If you don't already own a kayak with a pod drive, like that just slaps down in the middle of the kayak, put one of those on the back is probably like best bang for your buck.
Yeah, it really is, probably.
One thing that is changing is the transoms that we sell, the ones that they like pre-made where you cut it down to fit your boat. We've had a lot of interest in those and people wanting to get different sizes and stuff. So now we've got some 1.5-inch thick ones in different sizes and in different lengths. Like we got them in different heights and different lengths now. We got them in 60 inches and 72 inches for some of the wider boats.
Okay.
And then we've got the 1.75 inches also in 60 and 72 inch. And then we've got the 2-inch as well. Now, they're going to be changing the way that we do the V-holes on those. Because there's so much variation in V-hole boats, they're going to require that you now send in a template of your old transom before you get one made. But you can still purchase it on the website. You just have to get a cardboard template or a Mylar template or plastic template of some type over to the shop so that they can make it to fit your boat.
Which, if any of you have purchased one of those for your deep V from us, I've that's pretty much the way I've been going with it because it's just so hit and miss, man. Like we want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you need because that turns into a custom item, which we can't bring, return back. And I don't want you to lose out on that money because a lot of those are running about $700. So for my assurance and for your reassurance, it's just easier to send in a template. So whether that is take that wood piece that you have and make a template exactly out of it, but the problem is most of those get destroyed as they're coming out. So
you can also buy the Mylar at like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that, which Mylar is just a clear plastic film, and you can lay it up on the back of your boat and trace it out with a permanent marker exactly what size you need it to be. But on all the deep Vs that they sell now, they're going to be mandatory to have a template just because there's so much variation in them. And it also takes a lot of time away from customer service. We have to spend a lot of time back and forth with customers trying to figure out exactly what size they need for a deep V transom. But that's one of the products that I've got on my list to do an install video on. We've had a lot of requests for it for people that want a step-by-step install, so we'll be doing that in one of either the catfish boat that's coming up or the skiff, the offshore skiff, or we might do it in the Weekend Warrior mud boat, the Weekend Warrior duck hunting boat.
Okay.
So that's another thing that we've had a lot of people asking about is the Weekend Warrior duck hunting edition. That will be coming very soon. We're working on getting everything planned out for that, and then we'll be filming that whole process just like we did with the Weekend Warrior 1436 bass fishing boat. It'll be a very similar style video, and it'll be a similar style install. So it's going to have different lids, different layout.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a pretty cool kit. We do get a lot of calls if people want to build duck boats, and there's nobody out there that has a kit for one yet. So we're gonna do it.
We will be there. I honestly think that's it. I mean, it just sounds like a lot because Newport has a whole lot underneath the
umbrella of their company.
umbrella.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely check us out on that because we're the dudes that put the stuff in the water and try it out and see what we like and don't like versus what your other options are. I know we get, people get kind of ticked at us for something. Like one guy today, dude, completely changed his order.
Really?
Okay. Just because I found out that what he was actually trying to purchase was not going to be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
And I tried to let him know that without telling him what he needed to buy, like let him make his own decision on everything. But I'm glad he went that route because I think he's going to be happier in the end with what he's trying to do versus what he just saw on the internet,
Yeah.
So.
And if you ever have a question about something that you're thinking about buying and you want our opinion on it, if you tell us what kind of fishing style you have and what exactly you do with your boat, we'll be more than welcome to give you our opinion on it because more than likely we've either used it, installed it, or played with it at some point, and we can kind of give you a good feedback. And we've also we spend a lot of time on the phone, so we hear back from customers a lot, what they like, what they didn't like, what they bought, what they wish they would have bought, what they ended up buying, what they changed their minds on. And we're free to relay that information to you, and we'll gladly help you out any way we can. Oh, one other thing, and we did a little short video on this on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, but they got the new HydroTurf sizes in for the snow camo, red camo, and blue camo. Previously, up till recently, HydroTurf has only offered those 3 camo colors in a small sheet size. They called them their personal watercraft sheets for jet skis. Now they're starting to offer more of them in the full size 47 by 86 sheets. And there's more colors coming, but that's the 3 that we've got so far is the snow camo, red camo, and blue. So you don't have to buy as many sheets for your bigger project boats because those are some pretty popular colors.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like the snow camo. I think it looks pretty cool. The red camo looks good in a red boat.
If you are just like, I don't know what to use, just put the snow camo in. That snow camo goes with everything, and it looks great.
Yeah. And of course, we got the TBN dark camo still. And then we're working with HydroTurf to get some more custom colors in. So I know we have one that is coming. I just don't know when it's going to be here yet.
That one's going to be freaking sweet.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a while.
I'm about to have to redo my boat because of that turf.
We do have one new custom color that's coming in that we're excited about. But we're keeping HydroTurf in stock now in all those different sizes and all the popular color camo patterns, as well as the TBN camo. Now, I will tell you this. It takes us about 3 to 4 months to get more TBN camo in. If you want TBN camo and you're listening to this, I would not hesitate. I would go ahead and buy it now because it sells out really fast.
Yeah.
And the last time we got in like 200 something sheets and it didn't make it but a couple of months.
Yeah.
People really like that color. So
it's a good color.
Mike, thank you, Mike Photoshop.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have for today, guys. We greatly appreciate your support. Please check out TBNation.net for all your John boat needs. If you need anything or have questions over anything, feel free to contact us at support@TBNation.net. You can also give us a call. Our number is plastered all over the website, so please feel free to give us a call if you need to. We're also located down in Georgia. We also have another location in Illinois, which is moving to a new facility here this week.
Yep.
And look forward to bringing all the content to you guys. So keep an eye out on our YouTube channels for IBEX information, shallow water anchors, and these inflatables that we're going with now, along with all the Newport
stuff.
stuff.
The trolling motors and all that stuff. And we'll be testing out the trolling motors with the auto boats when the auto boats get here in November.
Correct. That's the other big thing.
Yeah.
Auto boat has been moved to November, but it's for good reasoning. So please hang tight with us on that. As soon as we get them in, we'll let you guys know. Start shipping all those out.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. The new Smart Head is probably one of the best innovations in auto boat technology that I've seen so far.
Maybe we should do the next episode is just auto boat.
We can, yeah.
And give people the rundown and all that. And
yeah, if I have the new motor in by then we can do it.
All right.
That's the only thing I'm waiting to test is the new actual turning motor, the servo motor.
Right. Please let us know in the comments what topic you guys would like to see on this podcast. We haven't gotten a whole lot of reaction to it in order to know what to bring you guys or what to talk about. So please leave a comment down in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on any of the podcast platforms, please rate the show a 5-star.
Please rate us. Please rate us.
That greatly helps us out. What else?
Don't forget your drain plug.
Don't forget your drain plug, because that would be very bad.
I've done it. It's not fun.
You'll be that guy. Thank you, guys.